Hello, guys. Um, this is Nick Fiore, the creator of the Fiore's Nation YouTube channel right here on YouTube.com. Now, folks, you may wonder what's on top of my head right now. You want to take any guesses? If you guess Dana Brooke, or if you guess The Miz and John Morrison, or if you guess Braun Strowman, you are wrong. Try again, guys. Give up? You know what the answer is? It's what is in the thumbnail with a trash can over Io Shirai. What's on top of my head right now? It's Monday Night Raw. Raw is trash. Complete, utter trash. The trash can, as you see in this very thumbnail of this very video, with the trash can over Io Shirai's body, the trash can over Io Shirai's body, the trash can, that is Monday Night Raw. And this is Monday Night Raw as well, ladies and gentlemen. Trash. Raw is complete, utter fucking trash. What we saw this past Monday was trash. Raw every single Monday is trash. And Raw will continue to be trash until Vince McMahon steps away from creative, until the pen is taken away from Vince McMahon. Raw is utter fucking garbage and trash. It's complete dumpster fire trash, ladies and gentlemen, is Monday Night Raw. How the fuck could you sit there and say, oh, Raw was a decent show Monday night? Oh, Raw wasn't a bad show. Raw was good. Raw was a great show. I don't know how you could be a content creator and sit there and say that Raw was great, because Raw was not great. Raw was awful Monday, and Raw is and continues to be and will always be the worst show on television. Raw is the worst show on television because of who is in charge of Monday Night Raw currently. How the fuck could you sit there and say Raw is not bad? I don't understand it. If you sit there and say Raw is good, you don't deserve to be on here talking about pro wrestling. You don't deserve to call yourself a professional wrestling fan. Seriously. Nothing good about Monday Night Raw. Raw was so bad Monday. There's so much wrong with Raw. I don't even know where to begin with Monday Night Raw. So bad was Raw. So fucking bad was Monday Night Raw. Not one positive on Monday Night Raw outside of the SmackDown promo for tomorrow and Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. Seriously, the rest, you're better off just fucking skipping. And I swear to God, if you miss Raw for a month, you are not missing a goddamn thing, guys. Seriously, you can miss Raw for 4 weeks, and you're not missing a damn thing with Monday Night Raw. Hard to breathe with the sun. I'm taking this off. Fuck it. Whew. Need that air, man. Anything to say on this piece of shit show, Adam, that we saw Monday night?
One of the worst Raw episodes of the entire year.
And don't we say that every week at this point?
It's happening every week.
It's like they love to outdo themselves and get worse every single fucking Monday night. Absurd. And then you'll have idiots on here saying, oh, you're overreacting. Oh, Raw wasn't that bad. It was a good show. I'd love for you to tell me what was good Monday outside of Lashley and Jeff and the SmackDown promo for Friday with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens and Jey Uso.
And the fact, and the other positive was there was no Braun Strowman.
Yep.
On Monday night.
And all he does is you sure run fast. You know Braun Strowman runs fast, guys. That's I'm not sure if you knew that, but it's an important it's an important fact, and it's like you hear that fact and it's like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. Braun can run fast. Wow. wow, that's all Braun does is run fast, but he can't run now. He can't run now because his leg is all injured. He ran so fast, so much so that he ran out of gas and he had a flat tire. The Strowman Express ran too fast that it ran out of gas and it ended up getting a flat tire. Oh man. Oh man. Absolutely. You know, and yeah, that's the other positive about Raw. No Braun Strowman. But I'm hearing rumors though, he's not that hurt and he could come back soon. So McIntyre and Strowman at the Rumble, unfortunately, it's coming. Unfortunately, it's coming, folks. Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. Braun Strowman and McIntyre at the Rumble. Yeah. Shoot me. Strowman versus McIntyre. I'd rather watch a cow versus a fucking ox. I'd rather watch that than watch McIntyre wrestle Braun Strowman. Seriously.
Amazing, man.
Absolutely. You and I, we're both so amazing, so much so that we're both more amazing than Monday Night Raw and what we got Monday on Raw. What did we get Monday? Outside a few things we just mentioned.
The Miz continues to be a loser.
As always, ever since he's won the Money in the Bank for a second time, he's been treated like a complete fucking scrub. And don't try and fight me on this. Oh, but if you're Mr. Money in the Bank or Miss Money in the Bank, you don't have to win all the time if you're holding the briefcase, man. Blow me. Blow me.
What else happened on Monday Night Raw?
If you're a Money in the Bank holder, you should win often. The only time you lose is when it makes sense. Look at Edge in 05. Did you see him lose a lot as Mr. Money in the Bank? No. Only times he lost was when it made sense. When he lost to Kane and Matt Hardy because they needed to have their revenge. Because Edge was a big heel in 05.
Yeah, absolutely. That actually makes perfect sense.
Because if you remember your WWE history, Lita cheated on Matt Hardy with Edge, and then Edge stole Lita away from Kane in a storyline. Edge stole Lita away from Kane in a storyline in 05. So it made sense for Edge to lose those only few times. The Money in the Bank holder doesn't have to win a lot. They do have to win a lot. So don't even try and fight me on that. And what happens when The Miz cashes in? At this point, I hope The Miz fails his cash in.
What else happened on Monday Night Raw? Oh, that's right. John Morrison is still a joke. He's more of a joke just like The Miz is.
And they had this Miz TV fucking garbage segment with AJ Styles, Miz, and Morrison. You had Miz and Morrison. Fucking cringe. They're out there doing some British or Irish, Scottish accent. Cringe as hell. So unfunny. So unfunny. If you find anything funny in that segment, you are the root of the issue. And then, after that, we got a 3-on-2 handicap match with AJ Styles tagging with The Miz and Morrison to take on Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. A 3-on-2 handicap match. So, last week's Monday Night Raw, Miz and Morrison versus McIntyre and Sheamus in a tag match last Monday on Raw. And now we're getting Miz and Morrison fighting McIntyre and Sheamus again this past month with what happened with this past Monday on Raw. Oh, but it was a 3-on-2 handicap match, man. Who gives a shit?
It's the same fucking match.
It's still rinse and repeat. And here's the kicker, folks. AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre is a TLC match at TLC for the WWE title, correct? This past Monday on Raw, AJ and McIntyre wrestle before the fucking pay-per-view. So you're basically giving your match away, one of your matches away. So one of your TLC matches for TLC, for the match card for TLC, one of those matches from the card, you're basically giving one of those away for free on Monday night. Speaking of giving shit away for free, the Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in the main event on Monday bored me to fucking tears. Another match from TLC that they gave away for free this past Monday night on Raw. Oh, but it was the Firefly Funhouse version of Bray Wyatt, man. I don't care. it's the same fucking person.
And it took place 12 hours. 12 minutes, 12 hours. Blow me for the
And that
12 hours.
Raw this past Monday felt like 9 fucking hours.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton took place 12 minutes before the show went off the air. This is what you call a main event. Taking place 12 hours or 12 minutes.
Oh, but it was the Firefly Funhouse version of Bray Wyatt, man. Same fucking person, no difference. So don't try and fight me on that. Don't.
Well, on Monday Night Raw. Oh, that's right. Mia Yim continues to be buried.
Mia Yim pinned by Dana Brooke. Oh, but it's reckoning, man. It's Mia Yim. Mia Yim pinned by Dana Brooke for the second week in a row, clean. Oh, but it was a mixed tag team match, man. Who gives a shit?
Who cares? It's the same match. If you minus
Slapnuts,
Shane Thorne, and Richard O'Shea. You know Ricochet. Richard O'Shea, because that's who he is on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, but it's Ricochet, man. You mean in the Indies and Lucha Underground and NXT? Okay. Monday Night Raw? Yeah, sure.
You might as well, you replace Rico with Richard, and Shay, you replace it with O'Shea. Because that's who he is on Monday Night Raw. Richard O'Shea. This is what I call him every time he appears on Raw. And it's not even his fault.
What else do we get Monday on Raw? Oh, that's right. More shit with the New Day and the Hurt Business. Kofi versus Shelton. Oh, but it's their history from 2008 ECW, man.
Who gives a fuck?
And then to top it all off, shortly after, Cedric versus Kofi, impromptu right after. Cedric in the Hurt Business. Oh, New Day. You want to be cowards as the Raw Tag Team Champions. Kofi, why don't you come back in this ring right away and face me, Cedric Alexander, in an impromptu one-on-one match, man. And then they book Kofi and versus Cedric right after Kofi versus Shelton. Great. And to top it all off, TLC, this is Thursday recording, this is the Raw review from this past Monday with Raw. Not long ago today, they announced for TLC, a new match they announced for TLC, the Hurt Business versus the New Day for the Raw Tag Team titles again.
Right. Or rinse and repeat on Monday Night Raw.
Man, that's going to get me excited. Said no one ever. Man, I can't wait to see the New Day versus Hurt Business for the 12th millionth time. Man, I'm intrigued. I can't wait. Said nobody ever.
Speaking of rinse and repeat, my brother, speaking of rinse and repeat, and speaking of tag team championships, or worthless tag team championships, we got Asuka against Shayna Baszler, with Lana with Asuka in her corner, and Nia in Shayna's corner.
Yeah, Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. And what do you think happened? In NXT, they would give these ladies a good fucking match. Monday Night Raw, that's way too foreign to them. And what do they do with Shayna Baszler in that match?
Oh, that's right. They make her look like a joke.
Pinned clean by Asuka. Lana distracts Nia or some bullshit. Shayna distracted like an idiot. They made Shayna look like a complete fucking dumbass. And then Asuka pinned Shayna clean. Second week in a row now, Shayna's been pinned clean. First Lana, and then Asuka now. Third week in a row. I've looked at this point 2-3 times. Doesn't fucking matter. Shayna's buried on this fucking show. Can we please send her back down to NXT or have her move to SmackDown to wrestle herself, aka Bayley, or move her back to fucking NXT? Because this shit's fucking pathetic.
This is atrocious.
Look at Shayna in NXT, and then look at Shayna right now. It's like night and day. Shayna Baszler, this is a woman who is NXT Women's Champion, one of the most dominant NXT Women's Champions in history next to Asuka. She held that championship for over a year down in NXT, and now she's on Monday Night Raw, losing to Lana and Asuka. Well, Asuka is a wrestler, but Lana losing clean to Lana?
2 weeks in a row? 2 weeks in a row to Lana.
Oh, but Lana's not that bad, man. Sure, she's not that bad. Oh, but this has nothing to do with AEW and Miro, man. Yeah, keep saying that. Keep saying that.
And man, I need sorry. What are you saying already? We said already.
Just watch them do Asuka versus Charlotte at the Rumble for the Raw Women's title or WrestleMania next year for the Raw Women's title with Asuka and Charlotte. It's coming. It's coming. And then you'll have geeks on the internet and on social media saying, oh, Charlotte's a savior. She's the savior. She's going to save the Raw Women's division. Asuka is killing the Raw Women's division, man. Asuka's a division killer, man. Charlotte's the answer, man. Asuka does nothing but kill a division, man. Asuka's holding that division down. The division is dying because of Asuka, man. Asuka's no draw. Asuka's not a good champion, and Asuka's a failure, man. Charlotte's our answer and savior, man. Huh?
What?
Where? Explain to me where.
How?
Does anybody even miss Charlotte? I don't. Not me.
Charlotte's the savior. How many ratings did she generate for NXT against AEW on Wednesday nights?
When she was NXT Women's Champion NXT this year, every single week when she was there as the champion, every single week with NXT ratings, down, 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 down. And then at TakeOver in Your House, what did they do? They did the right thing. They took the belt off Charlotte at TakeOver in Your House, and they gave it to Io Shirai because they even knew that Charlotte could not cut the mustard whatsoever. I even read a report earlier today. You know how WrestleMania 36 for the NXT Women's title, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair?
It was supposed to be a triple threat match between Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair.
With Rhea pinning Bianca at Mania 36, with Rhea retaining by pinning Bianca. Or Rhea was going to beat Charlotte clean and retain clean at Mania against Charlotte. NXT and Triple H wanted that. Who didn't want that? Vince McMahon.
You guessed it. Vince McMahon and Raw creators.
Yep.
These were the two plans that were supposed to happen at WrestleMania. But if one of them, if not the other.
Yeah, and this was pushed hard by Triple H and NXT Creative. And I heard this had to go through Raw Creative, and Vince McMahon shot both of those ideas right down. And Vince had Charlotte win. So to those people, Charlotte beating Rhea at Mania 36 for the NXT Women's title, man. Charlotte beating Rhea at Mania this year for the NXT Women's title. Charlotte beating Rhea. That was a Triple H move, man. No, it wasn't. And this was reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select.
He stated that it was a Vince McMahon move to have Charlotte win. When Rhea was supposed to win. And Vince McMahon refused both plans that was planned.
Vince hates NXT. He never gave a fuck about NXT. Vince doesn't even watch NXT.
He's too focused having sex with Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah. So Sean Ross Sapp, to the people who are saying, Rhea losing to Charlotte was a Triple H idea. Sean Ross Sapp shut all of you up. Rhea losing to Charlotte was not a Triple H move. That was Vince McMahon written all over it. And if you don't see that, you're an idiot. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Triple H worked so hard to build Rhea up into a big, big mega star. And then WrestleMania 36, Charlotte buries her because God forbid Charlotte loses, period. And God forbid Vince McMahon is wrong to Triple H. It's like if Vince wants to prove, like Vince, he wants to prove Triple H wrong so bad.
If Charlotte wasn't going to lose, if Charlotte wasn't going to lose, why didn't you do the triple threat match with Rhea, Bianca, and Charlotte with Bianca and Rhea?
And nobody, and if they would have went the triple threat route, nobody, and I mean nobody would have fucking complained. Not a single soul would have had a fucking problem with that. Not one.
Because Bianca was going to Monday Night Raw anyway after WrestleMania.
The Raw after Mania, yeah. And Charlotte would have been protected. Bianca would have not been buried, and Rhea would have looked like a star.
Yeah. No one would have complained.
An even bigger star.
Not the fans. No one would have complained. Not the fans, not Charlotte, not Vince, not John, not Hunter. Not a single soul would have complained.
No.
I think Charlotte lost, but she didn't technically lose by a pinfall.
Charlotte would not have eaten the fall. And Rhea, and they could have done the triple threat route at Mania with Rhea retaining by pinning Bianca, and he still could have done Io, Rhea, and Charlotte for the title at Takeover in Your House with Io pinning Rhea. You still could have done that, and that would have been so much better.
Yeah, with Charlotte coming up with excuses, say, "Oh, I wasn't pinned at Mania. Oh, I want another title match because I wasn't pinned."
And then Io won that 6-woman number 1 contenders ladder match. Io Shirai beating, I believe, Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, and Chelsea Green.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's still gonna. You still could have done that triple threat also at Takeover in Your House, just like at Mania, and it would have been so much better.
Yeah, with Rhea as the champion, Charlotte being in that match at Io's number 1 contender, and Rhea could have jumped the title to Io Shirai by taking the pinfall, and Charlotte would have still been protected, and no one would have fucking complained. Not a single person would have complained.
It would have been so much better than what we got this year. But what did Charlotte do? Beats Rhea clean and buries Rhea Ripley. Vince and Charlotte.
But the one outcome in the one-on-one match between Rhea and Charlotte that no one wanted to see was the one that fixed the women.
No, that was Vince written all over it. That was not Triple H involved whatsoever. He wanted Rhea to win. And if I'm Triple H, I'm fucking pissed.
How bad does it look that they did all of that with Charlotte?
And now look where Charlotte is.
She's not even on television.
No.
And when she's back on television, it's going to be a recipe for disaster.
Charlotte will come back. She'll feast on Asuka, and Asuka will be forever buried. It's coming. It's coming.
The final nail of how many coffins they put on Asuka is going to happen.
And you read the other plans. Mania 35, SmackDown Women's title with Asuka. It was supposed to be Asuka and Sonya Deville, but Charlotte politics changed all of that. Ronda and Becky. That was supposed to be 101 at Mania 35 for the Raw Women's title. Charlotte politics changed that with Raw Women's title, Becky and Ronda at Mania 35 for the Raw Women's title, etc., etc. Yeah. Why? Charlotte Flair. Because Charlotte Flair is a big spoiled brat and selfish and a crybaby who's given everything as Charlotte Flair. That's Charlotte Flair.
It's embarrassing.
Rhea losing to Charlotte at Mania 36 was Vince written all over it. Triple H had zero to do with that. Zero. And watch them do Asuka and Charlotte for the Raw Women's title next year. It's coming. And correct me if I'm wrong. Raw episode for the Raw Women's title this past June, right? Asuka versus Charlotte. Didn't Asuka beat Charlotte clean? Yeah, Vince will be, and I bet you Vince will be like, oh, that never happened. That never happened, damn it. Don't even try, Vince. We're not stupid. Do not insult our intelligence. We saw what happened. Don't even try.
And speaking of, Rhea Ripley is also the betting odds are winning the Royal Rumble.
Does this mean Asuka and Charlotte for the Raw Women's title at the Rumble? Please fucking no.
Please no. At this point, you're admitting your mistakes there.
At this point, if Rhea wins, okay. I have no problem with that. But if she challenges Charlotte for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 37, that's a fucking problem. I don't want to see that. After what happened at Mania 36, why would you want that again? Why would you want that match again?
So when Rhea wins the Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte at next year's WrestleMania, with Charlotte winning the Raw Women's title, Rhea winning the Royal Rumble, they challenge each other at WrestleMania, and then Rhea wins the championship. At this point, you're admitting failure. And you say that what you did last year here was the wrong call. And what you did last year and what you did this year is what should have happened last year.
Yeah. At this point, if Rhea's going to win, that's not the problem. Just have her win the Rumble, but have her challenge Sasha. Now, personally, I would do Sasha and Bianca at WrestleMania next year for the SmackDown Women's title. But maybe they have Sasha and Rhea for the title, the SmackDown Women's title next year at WrestleMania, and maybe Rhea wins, and maybe we get Rhea and Bianca for the SmackDown Women's title next year at SummerSlam, with Bianca beating Rhea for the title next year at SummerSlam, the SmackDown Women's title.
That should be awesome.
That would make two new stars within less than a year.
Yeah, or you could do Rhea Ripley against Asuka at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
For the Raw Women's
Anything
but Rhea versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. Charlotte's the Raw Women's Champion and Rhea wins the Royal Rumble. Anything but that.
Or even better, or even also this, anything but Charlotte Flair, period. Anyone is better than Charlotte Flair, period.
Anyone but Charlotte to win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Do you even miss Charlotte? Because I don't.
I don't.
And all I can say is fuck Charlotte Flair and her backstage politics.
It's awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah. Yeah, people want to say, oh, Asuka's a division killer and Charlotte's a savior, right? Sure. Yeah, continue to say that. When Charlotte comes back and the Raw ratings go down, then I'd like you to come back. Then I'd like you to say something and come back to me and Adam saying something.
Yeah.
Raw was garbage. Raw was fucking garbage. I could end the review right here, but we're going over what happened on Raw Monday. And folks, Raw is getting buried. So Raw deserves a burial by Adam and I. So it's gonna happen. This show is getting buried to fucking shreds when it deserves to be buried. Enough sugarcoating this show. And then you'll have geeks on social media. Oh, but you're too negative and too harsh on your show. If you don't like it, stop watching it, man.
If you don't like what we're saying, you can either shut the fuck up or don't tweet us. Or don't see our video.
Or go watch somebody else on YouTube who's going to sugarcoat, or go watch some other fucking geek on YouTube sugarcoating this show and saying nothing bad about this show. When the show deserves to be fucked, when bad deserves to be said about Monday Night Raw.
Man, this show sucks. This show sucks.
At this point, I wish Dynamite moved from Wednesday to Monday. To the point where Raw is literally fucking pissing their pants.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over Raw right now. We're gonna go over everything what happened on Raw. Like I said, nothing positive on the show outside of a few things. A SmackDown promo for tomorrow with Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Jey Uso, and Bobby Lashley and Jeff Hardy. That's it. And no Braun Strowman. And possibly Retribution being disbanded. I hope so, because that group is a fucking failure. It's a failure. It was a fail from the start, and you'll never convince me otherwise. I'm Nick Fiore, and this is Adam. This is the Fiore Nation YouTube channel right here on YouTube.com. And now, right before we get started with this Raw review here, I I'd like you to follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. I'd like you to follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiore2014. And I would like for you to follow me, if you like, on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiore.31. You can follow Adam on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links in the description. And I'm begging you guys, if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. And make sure you hit that bell for all notifications. So in that way, you're always notified whenever I upload right here on the channel. So hit that bell for all notifications. Hit that subscribe button. And be sure to hit that like button for this very video. So Monday Night Raw starts off with an in-ring segment. Well, actually, the entire Raw roster is on the stage for a 10-bell salute for Pat Patterson, who recently passed away. God rest his soul. So that was nice. Though I thought SmackDown last Friday did it a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see a vignette or a tribute. It was nice to see that with Pat Patterson, nonetheless. So God rest his soul. The first ever Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson. So I'll miss him, but it was a nice tribute to Pat Patterson, first ever IC champion.
And the creator of the Royal Rumble.
Yes, and the creator of the Royal Rumble. And big fan of the NXT guys and girls. He was like considered a mentor to them down in NXT. And I also heard that he wanted, I also even heard a recent report, he tried to push big for Dolph Ziggler to get a more better, serious, bigger push. Dolph Ziggler, yes. Yes, I'm not kidding you. I just read this report earlier today, so Pat Patterson must see something in Dolph Ziggler, unlike Vince McMahon, but anyways. So after this nice tribute to Pat Patterson, we get an in-ring segment with Randy Orton opening the show. How many times have we seen this already now on Monday Night Raw to open the show? Enough already. How many times have they done this now to open Raw? Can't they do anything fucking different? Yeah, you had the tribute. But Jesus Christ, start with the match. Something. Anything. Anything but Randy Orton starting the show. Seriously. Rinse and repeat. Raw's rinse and repeat wrestling. And this is a perfect example of that.
Randy Orton is once again starts off Monday Night Raw. For how many weeks now?
I wonder how many people changed the channel with that one.
How many weeks now has Randy Orton started off Monday Night Raw? How many weeks now? Since he was attacked at Clash of Champions by Big Show, Christian, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels?
Jesus Christ, it feels like 10 fucking weeks they've done this shit now. 10 weeks.
What's it?
Absurd. Absolutely fucking absurd. So Orton's in the ring. He says he's going to knock on the Funhouse door and wonder who exactly is going to let him in. And then the Firefly Funhouse theme then goes off. And so then Bray Wyatt, the Firefly Funhouse version of Bray Wyatt, appears on the screen. He says since Randy Orton was mean to Alexa Bliss last week, Orton is going to have to settle for just him. Orton then says he is the last person Wyatt should try to play games with. The Funhouse then turns into a game show where Wyatt asks the Firefly housemates how Orton should be punished. Everyone gets it wrong. Wyatt gets serious and says, unfortunately for Orton, he, quote unquote, always has the answer. Orton says he'll see The Fiend at TLC, but he wants Wyatt in the ring tonight. So then Wyatt agrees. Am I the only one that thinks with the Firefly Funhouse it's not funny anymore?
It's not.
And guys, I'd be lying to you if I told you when I watched this segment I did not fall asleep. I fell asleep during this. Unfunny. And I've said it before, guys. I'm gonna say it again. The Fiend versus Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton doesn't matter. The Fiend and Bray Wyatt's the same fucking person. The Fiend versus Randy Orton, I have zero interest in. Zero. And I still have zero interest in that.
Awful.
And then Orton says he says he's going to wrestle The Fiend at TLC, but he wants Wyatt tonight, and Wyatt agrees. Like I said in the opener, you're like Orton and The Fiend at TLC. The Fiend versus Randy Orton at TLC, correct? And they're doing Wyatt and Orton from Raw this past Monday night. The one of their matches at TLC, they're giving it away for free on Monday Night Raw. Oh, but The Fiend and Bray Wyatt. But it's the Firefly Funhouse. Oh, but it's not the Fiend version of Bray Wyatt, man. It's the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, man. No difference. No fucking difference. It's the same fucking person. It's the same person. Where's the difference?
It's the same guy with different characters.
Any excuse to come up? Any excuse to argue with me? With? Try again. Any more tries?
Embarrassing.
Okay. Absolutely fucking embarrassing. So, good opener there, Vince. Good creativity for an opener there, Vince McMahon. Yeah, some creativity to get there on Monday Night Raw, Vince, Dunn, and Bruce. Awful. Fucking awful. Terrible. You want me to care about The Fiend versus Orton? You want me to care about The Fiend versus Orton even less? That is what you do. What they do right then. Fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Now, if they do this match at TLC, and if they do this match again at the Rumble, I am fucking going off. Seriously. Who wants to see Fiend versus Orton at TLC and the Rumble? Fiend versus Orton at the Rumble again, but at the Rumble? Shoot me. Shoot me. Who wants to see that?
Nobody. Absolutely nobody.
And this is literally like they're in autopilot mode right now. They're just waiting for Edge to get back so Edge can feud with Orton again. That's all this is. That's all this is. And you'll never convince me otherwise. They're waiting for Edge to get cleared again so Edge can resume his rivalry with Randy Orton. This is all this is, guys. This is all this is. And if you don't see that, I cannot help you. Moving on here, folks. The next segment. We go backstage. Nia Jax gives Shayna Baszler a little pep talk. Jax says Baszler's focus is destroying Asuka tonight, twisting her into a knot. Jax then says that fate is too good for Lana. Baszler then says that Lana's front's going to be her back. Jax then looks puzzled and says, yes, she'll have boobs on her back. Baszler then power walks to the ring. Then we get Asuka with Lana versus Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax. And before we talk about this match, I must take a sip of my good drink.
My good drink too as well.
Yep, hold on. Speaking of which, hold on. Hold on. Speaking of which, of drinks, Adam and I watching Raw Monday night, this past Monday night. 30 drinks on that 3-hour atrocity known as Monday Night Raw. 30 drinks. 30.
Yeah, 30 each, with 60 combined.
Yep. So, Asuka goes for an ankle lock on Shayna Baszler, and Baszler turns it into an Achilles hold. Asuka and Baszler then trade submission attempts after submission attempts until Baszler lifts Asuka off the mat and suplexes her. This causes Asuka to fall to the outside. Baszler is attacking Asuka on the outside of the ring. Then they go to commercial break. Then after the break, Baszler is working on Asuka's injured arm. Asuka manages to hit a German on Shayna. Asuka then fires up and lands a few strikes on Shayna, followed by a code breaker. By the way, WWE when the Codebreakers performed in WWE, the commentators are not allowed. Not sure if you knew this, guys. They're not allowed to call that name the Codebreaker. I'll tell you why. AEW. Guess who's in AEW right now? Chris Jericho. That's why they're not allowed. That's why the WWE commentators are not allowed to say Codebreaker.
Yeah, they're not allowed to mention Codebreaker because the guy who made it famous is in their rival's company.
Because Vince is fucking petty.
Unfortunately.
Pathetic.
But that's not surprising at the same time.
This is Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and Bruce Pritchard. They're petty. They're petty guys. So then Baszler swings at Asuka, but then Asuka counters it into a flying armbar. Baszler reverses this, however, and reverses it into the Karafuda clutch. Then Asuka turns that into an Asuka lock. Jax then attacks Lana. Asuka gets distracted, and then Lana sends Jax into the ring steps. And then this distracts Shayna. They made Shayna look like a complete fucking idiot with this thing right here. Lana sends Jax into the ring steps, correct? And this distracts Shayna. Shayna looks like an idiot being distracted by this, and Asuka rolls up Baszler with a fruit roll-up pin for the 1-2-3, and Asuka beats Shayna Baszler. And 3 weeks in a row now, Shayna pinned clean on this show. Awful.
Absolutely embarrassing.
Where when Shayna Baszler was in NXT, she was not pinned 3 weeks in a row clean. She was booked as a fucking legit monster.
But here she is, losing 3 weeks in a row on Monday Night Raw.
First Dana Brooke gets 70% offense on Shayna Baszler weeks ago, like a month ago on Raw. And then 2 weeks in a row, loses to Lana clean. And then this past Monday on Raw, loses to Asuka clean.
Embarrassing.
Absolutely fucking embarrassing.
This would have never have happened in NXT.
Do not even try to defend this. And if you do, you are a fucking fool. You are a fucking fool.
This would have never have happened in NXT.
Oh, but that NXT version of Shayna Baszler, that version sucks, man. Nobody wants to see that, man. Blow me. Oh, but that would never get over on Monday Night Raw, man. Blow me.
Yes, it would get over on Monday Night Raw. Only if Vince McMahon is not running the show. Only if Vince McMahon is no longer with us.
Just like people were saying about the Revival when they were on this show. Oh, but the Revival will never get over on the main roster, man. Really?
Now look what they're doing in AEW. Now look.
And then you want to know why the Revival didn't stay. Then you want to know why the Young Bucks didn't come over.
Then you know what? Then you want to know why Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes did not come over.
All you have to do is watch this show.
Yeah. The WWE back when they were offered the deals that they were offered in 2019. Early 2019.
Yeah, I even heard Kenny Omega, I think, was close to signing with the WWE, I believe, back in early 2019, I believe I heard. But then that first Raw of 2019 happened, which was so god-awful. And then I bet you that caused Omega to change his mind.
Yeah.
When he had Braun Strowman exposed as a one-trick pony, yada, yada, yada. On that first Raw of 2019 with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Then you want to know why the Elite. Then you want to know why the Elite, all four members of them, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page, I think, he's part of the Elite. Then you want to know why they did not come to WWE. Then you want to know why the Revival left.
Yep.
Or you want to know why Brody Lee, or Dean Ambrose, or Shawn Spears. You name them. You want to know why they left. It's because of one man. And you could blame one man for it.
And then you want to know why Rusev left as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You could thank one man for that. And that's Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Oh, but Lana, what she's doing now on Monday Night Raw has nothing to do with Miro/Rusev, man. Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
Yes, sir.
Lana and Rusev Day, red hot in 2017, 3 years ago. Now you want to push them. Oh, but it's better late than never, man. It's better than not doing it at all, man. You have to strike while the iron is hot, because if you don't, who's going to give a shit?
And listen to this. For 9 weeks in a row, for 2 months, they've buried Lana by putting her through announce tables via Samoan drop from Nia Jax. And now you want to push her.
And I heard Slammy Awards for WWE this month for one of the categories, Rivalry of the Year. One of the choices is Lana versus announce tables. If this... Vince and Bruce are petty people. Vince and Bruce are petty fucking people. If this doesn't show you that, I don't know what does. Seriously. And if you even voted for that category, you are a fucking idiot. Seriously. Moving on. So then we go backstage with the Hurt Business harassing a stagehand. And then we go backstage. Ricochet and Dana Brooke are talking strategy for their mixed tag team match later on against Slapnuts and Reckoning. And then Riddle walks in with some bro nuts. He asks if they have seen MVP. Riddle asks Dana Brooke and Ricochet if they've seen MVP anywhere. Ricochet says no and asks Riddle to leave. Riddle then continues his search for MVP. Ricochet and Brooke then say that they are going to take out Retribution tonight. And then we get Slapnuts and Reckoning with Mustafa Ali, Retribution, versus Ricochet and Dana Brooke. And I know there's going to be some geeks on social media. Oh, why do you hate Dana Brooke so much, man? She's trying, man.
She's trying, Miles.
But Dana Brooke's improving, man. Where?
The only thing Dana Brooke is improving at is the potato chips and the more Pepsis that she's bringing in to Titus Catering.
Yeah. Like, look at Raquel Gonzalez in NXT. She actually tries. She actually cares. She's actually improving and getting better. Dana Brooke, she's not trying. That running handspring attack in the corner, that's all Dana Brooke does. That's all she does. And she stole the Swanton Bomb and Batista Bomb from Jeff Hardy and Batista, by the way. Yeah, people want. Yeah. People want to say Dana Brooke tries, right? Sure. And why is Dana Brooke on television? Does she have anything to do a division? Like, Dana Brooke, what a fucking waste of money. They re-signed her for 5 more years to do what? To do what?
Well, I know why they re-signed her, because Titus cannot afford losing her. He's the only one who knows the fucking recipes.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe Humberto can know the recipes, but it would take a while for him to remember every single recipe in Titus Catering.
Or why? Because Dolph Ziggler is so bad at his job at making chicken fries and catering, so Dana Brooke has to do it in his place?
Unbelievable. Why would you keep Dana Brooke but release a Sarah Logan or release a Deonna Purrazzo?
Awful.
Fucking awful. Big waste of money is Dana Brooke. And no, clowns, Dana Brooke is not trying. She's not trying.
And guess what happened in the match?
Dana Brooke pins Mia Yim clean again for the second week in a row now. Mia Yim buried on this show by Dana Brooke. I want to see one clown defend this.
Embarrassing.
Absolutely fucking embarrassing. And how long was this match? Like what? 90 seconds? 90 seconds.
60 seconds, I think.
60 seconds.
Whatever the fuck.
Doesn't fucking matter. Irrelevant fucking filler fucking garbage that doesn't belong on this show.
3 a.m. is buried.
And then after this match, Ali then then belittles Mia Yim for losing again. Then he starts to belittle Slapnuts. Does this mean the end of Retribution? I hope so.
I hope so.
This is probably the only positive coming out of this. Probably the only fourth positive on the show.
But this was awful, man. Dana Brooke pins Mia Yim on Monday Night Raw again. If this doesn't tell you that Mia Yim is buried on Raw, I don't know what.
Can we send her back? Can we send Mia Yim back to like with Mia Yim? Can we send her back down to NXT, please? At this point, if you have nothing for her on Monday Night Raw, send her back down to NXT and send her back to Triple H. And send Keith Lee back to Keith Lee to NXT. Do that as well, not just Mia Yim. He's also doing nothing on Monday Night Raw as Keith Lee. Oh, but he has a WWE 24/7, a WWE 24/7 special, man, or a special documentary, man. That may be nice and dandy, but what is he doing on Monday Night Raw since he's gotten called up? That's right. That's right. Zero.
They changed his theme music. They changed his ring attire.
They changed his music again. Oh, but it's better than the one when he debuted on the Raw to SummerSlam this year, man. That's true, but is it better than his NXT theme? No, not even close.
They changed his tights. That he was wearing at NXT. They had him wear basketball shorts. Or this first night he was wearing a fucking vest.
And then they put him in a singlet.
Yeah, from a vest to a singlet. Yeah.
Awful. Awful. Can we send Mia Yim and Keith Lee back down to NXT, please? At this point, if you have nothing for them on Monday Night Raw. Terrible. Now, Mustafa Ali, he belittles Mia Yim and Slapnuts. Does this mean the end of Retribution? Please, I fucking hope so. Retribution is a fucking failure. It's a failure. Like, can we get T-Balls back as Dominic Dijakovic, and then can we get Mace back as Dio Madden, and then Slapnuts back as Shane Thorne, and can we get Mia Reckoning back as Mia Yim, and can we have Mustafa Ali on his own again, please? And man, oh man, Mercedes Martinez, is she one lucky devil? Mercedes Martinez, man, she is the luckiest person in the world, man. Imagine if Retaliation or Retaliation or Mercedes Martinez. My God, imagine if she was still in Retribution right now. This would have been her fate on Raw, losing to Dana Brooke. Imagine if Mercedes Martinez was still in this fucking group. My God. I'm so glad Mercedes Martinez went back down to NXT. She hasn't appeared on NXT TV back there yet, but they're probably waiting for the right time to do so. Maybe sometime next year.
Maybe.
But thank God she's out of that group. Imagine if she was still in that group. My God.
This would have been her fate. Losing to Dana Brooke on Monday Night.
A bimbo and Dana Brooke. Oh, but she tries, man. No, she doesn't. That running handspring attack in the corner, that's all she does. That's all she does. That's all I've ever seen her do. She can't throw a punch to save her life. She can't wrestle out of a paper bag. She's terrible. She's fucking awful. Dana Brooke adds nothing to a division. She doesn't belong. She doesn't belong. Can we release Dana Brooke, please? She offers zero. Zero.
She should never even be on television, period. In fact, she shouldn't even be employed with a fucking company.
Exactly. How she even is still employed is fucking mind-boggling. You sign her for 5 more years to do what? Nothing. She's being paid to be fucking blonde. Blonde. Now we have 4 more years left of Dana Brooke. Great. Great. Moving on. Then we go backstage. Keith Lee is telling Sheamus that no one is buying his good guy act. Everyone knows Sheamus is going to turn on Drew McIntyre. Sheamus excuses himself so he can go turn up. So he can go turn on the champion. So it looks so perhaps Sheamus and Drew McIntyre perhaps at the Royal Rumble. It's possible. And I don't expect, and McIntyre and AJ at TLC, I don't expect McIntyre to lose whatsoever. So that's all I got to say on that. Sheamus, man, you know, I like Sheamus. I'm a fan of Sheamus. He's a good worker. I think he deserves better. But maybe we get Sheamus and Drew McIntyre for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble. I would not mind that. And Sheamus and Drew are real life best friends, so this could be really good.
Yeah.
But do I trust Raw to handle it right? No. Because this is Monday Night Raw. This is Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard. But McIntyre and Sheamus, I could get behind that. It's better than Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. But looks like we could get Sheamus and Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, and it looks like that's where they are headed based on what's going on with Sheamus and McIntyre on Raw television right now. Now, before we talk about the next god-awful segment, Miz TV, this deserves a drink. Man, oh man. I know I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Nice and refreshing. Unlike Monday Night Raw. Miz TV. The Miz and John Morrison are hosting Miz TV, and their guest is AJ Styles. Miz notes that Styles' title match against Drew McIntyre at TLC is going to be a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Morrison then asks how Styles is going to handle that. AJ says that this is the first time he's ever had a match against McIntyre. Styles then says that he's going to destroy McIntyre and win the WWE Championship. Morrison then notes that will be cool if McIntyre makes it to TLC as the champion. Morrison and Miz then both do impersonations of Sheamus and McIntyre. Fucking awful. This was cringe. So fucking cringe. And then Sheamus walks out and says that was great. Sheamus says he's tired of hearing everyone say he's going to turn on his best friend Drew McIntyre. Ms. Morrison then tells Sheamus that he is outnumbered. And then Sheamus says they aren't exactly right on that. And the McIntyre's music hits and he joins Sheamus in the ring. McIntyre then tells Styles that he doesn't make threats, he makes promises. Doesn't matter how many advantages Styles has, McIntyre will come out on top. McIntyre then says Miz has no balls, but uses Morrison as a replacement. And then McIntyre and Sheamus beat up Miz and Morrison as Styles watches outside the ring next to Omos. Then McIntyre chucks the Money in the Bank briefcase from the ring to the stage. And then we get the next. And now before we get to the next match, Miz and Morrison with this Miz TV segment with the Sheamus and McIntyre impersonations. Fucking horrendous garbage. Fucking nauseating garbage. This was cringe. This was totally unfunny. So unfunny. So unfunny. Man, John Morrison, I hope you thought it was a good decision coming back to WWE earlier this year, man. I wonder how good that decision was, Mr. Morrison. Fucking cringe was this fucking segment. Unfunny. Unfunny. Miz and Morrison may have been funny back in the day. Not now. Like, and Miz and Morrison, you want people to change the channel? This is what you do. This is what you do. And can we please get John Morrison away from the Miz, please? Miz is just holding him down. Miz is just holding him down. And this segment is so fucking unfunny. If you find anything funny with this, I'd love for you to tell me where you thought this was funny. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Moving on. So then we get Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods versus Shelton Benjamin with MVP and Cedric Alexander. Fucking Christ, man. Christ above. But Kofi and Shelton have a history from 2008 in ECW, man. You know, Byron Saxon brought up their history from that time, man. Sure, okay. Who gives a shit? Who gave a shit about ECW back in 08? Who? That's right. Zero. Fucking zero. Your thoughts on this, Adam?
Did we even care?
And we all knew. And this is your tag team division on Monday Night Raw, folks. The Hurt Business and the New Day. That's all they fucking have. So they do the one half of the champions versus one half of the challengers, because that's all Raw fucking has for their Raw tag division is the Hurt Business and New Day. They have nobody else. Oh, but there's the Lucha House Party, man.
They're too busy going head-to-head against Tucker and Mojo Rawley.
And chasing our truth for the 24/7 title.
Yeah, and they're going to tag team match against Mojo Rawley and Tucker. I'll make the best chocolate cake in Titus Catering.
Oh, but there's Retribution, man. They're a failure, and it looks like they're going to be broken up. Good. But there's Miz and Morrison, man.
They're too busy being fed to Drew McIntyre.
Oh, but they have the War Raiders, man. One of them, Hanson, is injured.
Rowe isn't catering. Hanson is injured in his elbow.
And unless Hanson comes back, Rowe will be in catering still. Rowe will still be in Titus Catering until Hanson comes back. So Raw. Two teams. This is your Raw tag team division. That's not a division. Just merge the divisions. Merge the divisions. You can still have the brand split, but just have one sets of tag team titles and have the tag team champions only float between both Raw and SmackDown. Because right now right now, there's really not a whole lot of tag teams right now. If it was a shitload of tag teams, and I mean a shitload of tag teams, then it would be okay for two divisions and two tag team titles, and two sets of tag team titles. But right now, a lot of tag teams? No. There's not that much tag teams right now. They broke up Heavy Machinery. And by the way, Tucker turned on Otis, and they immediately dropped that. The War Raiders are hurt. Roode and Ziggler are a makeshift team, and Bobby Roode should be on his own. Miz is just holding Morrison down. The New Day have seen their day. Just merge the tag team divisions. You can still have a brand split, but just merge the tag team divisions and only have the tag champs and have one tag team titles and have the tag champs just have only the tag champs just float between both Raw and SmackDown. And you don't have to break the rules of the brand split in order to do that. And with that you don't break the rules of the brand split. And you can still have a brand split, but just have the tag champions float between both shows. Easy. Why do I book Monday Night Raw better than the people who actually write for Raw currently? Why do I book this show? Why do I book Raw better than the fucking people who work for Raw currently? Why do I come up with better ideas for this show than the fucking current creative goons over on Monday night?
They might as well hire him. He's be the creative writers for this shit show.
Known as Monday Night Raw. Yep. I'll still never forget Street Profits and New Day exchanging titles. Remember that? Remember that?
In the draft, yeah. On Monday Night
Oh,
Raw.
but that was a great creative decision, man.
Great creative decision.
Great creative decision, my fucking balls. That was terrible. Fucking terrible. Again, why do we book this show better than the people who actually write for Raw currently now? Seriously. Moving on. So Kofi and Shelton. Do I even need to go over this match?
Nope.
Benjamin almost gets counted out, and then then Benjamin gets back in the ring, and as soon as he gets back in the ring, Kingston hits the Trouble in Paradise for the 1, 2, 3. Then Cedric grabs the mic and says he wants Kingston in a match right away. Kingston accepts, and then impromptu right away. 1-on-1, Cedric Alexander versus Kofi Kingston. A few weeks ago, this was the Raw after this year's Survivor Series, correct? The Raw Tag Team Championship match, New Day versus Hurt Business. Both teams were counted out. Then MVP has a mic and says, "Hey New Day, you want to be fighting champions? How about we have another match for the Raw Tag Team titles again right now, right away?" And then the New Day accepts that. And then the Hurt Business lose clean right afterwards on that Raw after Survivor Series this year. Oh, and what do you think they did here with this situation? They do that same creative, uncreative, and then they do that same uncreative thing again. But it was 1-on-1 and not for the Raw Tag Team titles, though, man.
It's the same fucking thing.
It's still fucking rinse and repeat.
It's
Don't
the same thing.
Don't argue that. You ain't gonna win. It's still the same fucking shit. It's still rinse and repeat garbage. It's still rinse and repeat garbage.
So this is what Monday Night Raw is. Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat wrestling is Monday Night Raw. And do I even need to go much of this match either? What do you think happened? Cedric Alexander hits the lumbar check, and Kofi Kingston, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, 1-on-1, loses clean. Champions lose clean again. Again.
Some creativity you got there, Vince, Bruce, Gunn.
You clowns. Like, and the New Day. Yeah, some Raw Tag Team Champions you got there in the New Day, Vince, Bruce, and Dunn. Champions should not lose clean.
Yeah,
but Io Shirai lost clean at TakeOver War Games this year to Raquel Gonzalez, man. Didn't Shayna Baszler lose in War Games last year for the women? And what happened to Shayna afterwards? She was fine. I expect the same thing with Io Shirai.
Yeah. Because at least Io was picking up victories. And she has not lost a match since she became the champion.
And at least Io looked good at War Games this year, last Sunday night at War Games. Io and Raquel. And on the rest of the women, all the women in the War Games match this last Sunday at Survivor Series looked good. They did. That's it. So that was a different story. Champions should not lose clean. Champions should not be losing clean. Sami Zayn should not be losing clean. The Street Profits should not be losing clean. And the New Day should not be losing clean. I don't care who you are. Champions should not lose clean in non-title matches. Period. But if this was AEW, you wouldn't shit on it, man. Yes, we would.
Yes, we would.
Look at Darby on Dynamite a few weeks ago. That main event tag match on Dynamite a few weeks ago when the TNT champion Darby Allin in that tag match a few weeks ago on Dynamite lost clean to Brian Cage.
He lost clean.
Darby Allin should not have been pinned clean. He should not have eaten the pinfall. Cody Rhodes should have eaten that pinfall. One loss wasn't going to hurt Cody Rhodes. He's bulletproof. Why did Darby Allin have to eat that pinfall? Why did Darby Allin have to eat the pinfall? Couldn't Cody have eaten that pin instead of Darby Allin? That would have been better.
Or why did Kofi need to lose to Cedric? Couldn't they have done a DQ finish?
Yeah. Oh, but a DQ finish is a pile of shit, man. Then don't book the fucking match.
Absolutely.
Then don't book the fucking match. You're just wasting our time. You're just wasting our time by booking that match. Kofi versus Shelton and Kofi versus Cedric. Much better ways you could have done this. You could have done Lucha House Party versus the New Day. You could have done that. But no, we get Kofi and Shelton and Kofi and Cedric right afterwards. Uncreative and lazy.
This is their creativity, folks. This is the level of creativity coming from Bruce, Pritchard, Vince McMahon, and Kevin Dunn.
Legitimately. And then we get the 3-on-2 handicap match. The Miz, John Morrison, and AJ Styles with Elmas versus Sheamus and the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. And before we go over this, I must take my drink once again.
Yeah.
3-on-2 handicap match.
Miz, Morrison, and Styles with Big Jordan. I got Sheamus and McIntyre.
Yep. Or Elmas or Big Jordan. You can call him what you want. But Sheamus and McIntyre fought Miz and Morrison at the end of Raw last week, correct? Now they're fighting them on Raw again from Raw this past Monday night. But it wasn't a tag team match, man. It was a 3-on-2 handicap match with AJ Styles with Miz and Morrison, man. Doesn't matter. It's still the same fucking bullshit.
AJ Styles and Big Jordan, it's the same fucking match.
It's still rinse and repeat. Don't even try and argue that. It's still rinse and repeat. And like I said earlier in the opener of this video, here's the kicker. AJ and McIntyre are wrestling at TLC, correct? A few weeks before the TLC pay-per-view, AJ and McIntyre, they're wrestling at TLC. They wrestle on Raw this past Monday night before the fucking pay-per-view. I hate it when you have a match on a pay-per-view card and then like I hate it. Like you have two guys wrestle at a pay-per-view, right? Those two guys wrestle at said pay-per-view a few weeks before the pay-per-view. They wrestle each other on Raw, for example, before a pay-per-view. I hate that. It gives away the pay-per-view match for free. You're basically giving your pay-per-view match away, and I hate that. Yeah. One of my biggest pet peeves is that giving, like having two guys wrestle before those two same guys wrestle each other at the pay-per-view, a few weeks before the pay-per-view. I hate that.
Yeah, but this is the level of their creativity.
That may have worked back then. It's not going to work anymore now in 2020/2021. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, this is how stupid WWE creative is. Seriously.
This is how stupid Vince McMahon is.
Oh, but AJ and McIntyre, it'll still be a good match anyways, though, at TLC, man. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because you booked the match before they were even going to go on the pay-per-view.
So at this point, why should I even care anymore about the pay-per-view match anymore now with AJ Styles and McIntyre at TLC? So why should I care anymore now about AJ McIntyre at TLC at this point?
And guess what happened in the match?
I want to see one idiot tell me that I'm fucking wrong.
And do we need to go over this match?
Nope. This was a waste of fucking time, this match. I got one or two commercial breaks. No one gave a shit. You had Morrison go for a springboard flash kick or springboard chuck kick the springboard chuck kick. Morrison tried to do that to Sheamus. Sheamus is ducking it. Morrison rolls. Then Sheamus goes for his bro kick on Morrison. Morrison ducks, and Sheamus accidentally bro kicks Drew McIntyre. Sheamus is like all like he's just stunned. And then Morrison tags in AJ Styles. AJ Styles hits Sheamus with a phenomenal forearm. AJ Styles pins Sheamus for the 1-2-3. And Miz, Morrison, and AJ Styles win this worthless handicap match on Monday Night Raw. Do you care? I don't. I'm sure you guys don't care either. Then we go backstage. Lana tells Asuka that she can't face Nia Jax alone. Asuka then gives Lana a little pep talk. Asuka then tells Lana to say she believes in herself and that she can beat Nia Jax. They will become women's tag team champions. Lana says she can beat Nia Jax over and over and over again. I can beat Nia Jax. I can beat Nia Jax. I will not beat Nia Jax. I will not beat Nia Jax. Lana says she can beat Nia Jax. She says she's going to beat Nia Jax. Yeah, I want to see you try. I want to see you try, Lana. And so then Lana turns around, and Jax is standing right there. Jax then just shakes her hand, and then we go backstage. Charlie Caruso finds Sheamus. Sheamus then says he knows McIntyre is going to come back here and try to kick his ass. Charlie then asks if what happened was intentional. McIntyre then bursts in, and then Sheamus tells McIntyre to his face it wasn't intentional. McIntyre then gets in Sheamus's face and says Sheamus knows what happens next. Then they go to commercial break, and then back from the break, Sheamus and McIntyre are then brawling in the back around some like food with tables with food. I think you had some food there thanks to Titus O'Neil and Titus Catering. And they had all the catering people around. It looked like a high school fight, like people surrounded watching a high school fight. You had Nikki Cross and Rowe shown in the back watching this brawl backstage with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. You had Nikki Cross shown and Rowe shown watching this brawl happen. You see Humberto Carrillo, you see Dana Brooke, you see Ricochet, you see the Lucha House Party. Catering VIPs.
Yeah. Well, who else was in the catering VIP there that was showed up on Monday Night Raw? Drew Gulak?
Yep.
Akira Tozawa?
Yep.
All the Titus VIPs appeared on Monday Night Raw in the catering department. The only one who was missing was Titus. But,
yep. And speaking of Titus, since the 2020 draft, 30 seconds. Titus O'Neil has had more TV time has had more time on TV than Aleister Black since the draft. Just let that sink in.
Yeah,
Titus O'Neil with 30 seconds has more TV time since the 2020 draft, more time than Aleister Black on TV.
Yeah. I'm still wondering where the hell Aleister Black is.
Oh, but Aleister Black is boring, man. Titus O'Neil has that it factor and charisma, man. Sure he does. Is he even that fucking good? You see, this is why they never should have broke up the primetime players in 2014 with Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. They never should have broke them up.
And guess what happened in the brawl? Guess who was put to the game?
Sheamus. Yep, I think so. And then Sheamus and McIntyre are brawling. Pat Buck then comes in and tries to break this fight up. Sheamus then asks McIntyre if this guy is serious. Then McIntyre and Sheamus beat the crap out of Pat Buck. Sheamus and McIntyre then put Buck through the table. And then Sheamus and McIntyre then laugh as if nothing happened. McIntyre then asks Sheamus if he wants to get a pin. Sheamus says sure, but McIntyre is buying because he's a cheap bastard. Your thoughts on this?
Well, to explain.
What do you want me to say over this? What do you want me to say about this?
Bishop.
They shrug it off as nothing ever fucking happened. Now, I expect after a few weeks, I expect James to really turn on McIntyre, but what we saw Monday night, like, come on, bro.
Seriously. I'm still wondering what the hell are half the Monday Night Raw roster on this show.
Yeah. Where the hell is Dabba-Kato? Where is Riddick Moss? You know? Mickey James. Andrade. Dabba-Kato, the 2020 draft. Dabba-Kato was drafted over Andrade. Let that sink in.
Arturo Ruas was drafted over Andrade.
And now,
he's appeared more on NXT than he's ever been on Monday Night Raw.
And now Arturo Ruas, speaking of him, he's now back in NXT now. And the only reason why he was on Raw was because of Raw Underground, but now that's no more.
Yeah. Where the hell are they?
And
Riddick Moss. Where the hell are they? Where's Andrade? Where's Naomi?
Oh, but Naomi's injured, man.
Or is she that injured? Where is Peyton Royce?
Didn't she pin Bayley at the 2020 Survivor Series?
Yeah.
Oh, but I like Peyton Royce's tag team with Lacey Evans, man. The pairing makes no sense. Why does Lacey Evans need to be on TV? Period.
Seriously, like where the hell are these people yet? Yo, we gotta see Nia Jax in 4 fucking segments on this show.
Yeah.
Or 3 segments.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, Nia Jax was on Raw this past Monday night for 3 segments. And you find nothing wrong with that?
And Lana was 3 segments.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lana, in the 2020 draft, Lana was drafted ahead of Mickey James.
Yeah.
Oh, but Lana's not that bad, man. She's not that good of a wrestler. And Lana being pushed now all of a sudden, this shows that Vince and Bruce are indeed fucking petty. Oh, but it's better late than never with. And Lana and Rusev Day, like I said, like I said, Lana and Rusev Day, they were red hot in 2017. Now you want to push them. Oh, but it's better late than never. Oh, wait. Oh, but it's always better late than never, man.
Fuck out of here.
You got.
If you don't check what the iron is hot, who's gonna care?
Very little people will care. The majority of the people will not give a fuck if you don't strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah. Yeah, now you dropped the one. And 3 segments on Monday Night Raw. I can find nothing wrong with that. Oh,
God awful fucking television.
this show sucks.
How could you sit there and say, oh, Raw wasn't that bad? And you do realize this was Raw's last show in the Thunderdome and the Amway Center. You would think that they would have a fire lit under their ass and try and put on a decent show. Do they do that? No.
Nope.
Nowhere near close to decent. And if you don't see that, I do not know what to tell you. You need to open your eyes and realize that this show, Monday Night Raw, is the worst show on fucking television. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. This show sucks. Raw absolutely fucking sucks. So then we go backstage. Matt Riddle, not Riddle, Matt Riddle. He babbles to Jeff Hardy, who's backstage. Riddle pitches to Jeff Hardy, like Matt Riddle was talking about the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys. Matt Riddle was talking about that with the Hardy Boys. And then Riddle pitches to Jeff Hardy to team up and become the Hardy Bros. The Bros are in NXT, the Hardy Bros on Monday Night Raw. And well, at least they mentioned Hardy Boys, but guess who's in AEW right now? Matt Hardy.
Oh, but this isn't the AEW effect, man. This has nothing to do with AEW, man. And Monday Night Raw's not afraid of AEW, man.
Yes, they are. And of course it has AEW all over it. It's the AEW effect.
But why is everything the AEW effect, man? Not everything is the AEW effect, man.
Just look what they. Then why did they name the Hardy Boys with Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy the Hardy Bros?
Oh, but Matt Riddle has bro, man.
Who cares? The guy is wasted on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. And the only reason he's on Monday Night Raw, you want to know what? And there's only one, and he's on Raw for one reason only. You want to know who that is because of?
Seth Rollins.
Who, by the way, this I believe it. Yeah, I think it was this past Friday, but it was announced. It broke the internet earlier this week. Becky Lynch officially had the child. Baby girl named Rue. Roux. Rue.
Yeah, congratulations to both of them.
Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Congratulations to both of them.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rue. Welcome to the world.
Yeah.
And thinking about it now, and like, I don't know what you think about this, Adam. Like, Rue being born now and now brought into this world now. When Seth Rollins comes back, eventually, I expect him to come back in January in time for the Rumble next year. Like, because Rue was born just now, you could, like, at this point, with Rue being born just now because of that, do you honestly at this point bring Seth Rollins back to TV as a heel, or do you turn him babyface? At this point, how could you bring him back as a heel?
He had his newborn child.
You got to turn him babyface. How do after Rue being born? How do you even boo Seth Rollins now?
You can't.
It just makes sense now to turn him face. Just bring him back as a babyface. Have him feud with Roman Reigns,
or have a feud with Big E. To all we know.
Oh, but Big E's a babyface, man.
It doesn't matter. Maybe you could still bring him as a heel and have him face Big E before it goes on to win the Universal Championship.
Yeah. Or maybe, like I said, he'd do a heel Roman Reigns and a face Seth Rollins. And look at Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens right now on SmackDown. That's really good right now. And at this point, anything Roman touches turns to gold. The same thing can happen with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Just look at Roman and Owens. That's really good right now on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know? Same thing could happen. The same exact thing could happen with the Tribal Chief and the quote-unquote Messiah or SmackDown Savior, whatever you want to call him, Architect Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But those are my thoughts on all that. But again, congratulations to Rue being born. By the way, Ryan Satan, I saw his Twitter saying shit you should not have said about Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's child. Ryan Satan, what a fucking moron.
What an idiot.
Yeah, he said something on Twitter about the Seth's and Becky's kid. I forget what it was. And he showed in the same tweet like how Seth Rollins did with the WWE title at WrestleMania 31, where he was doing like this. Like saying something, like he said something very insulting about Seth's and Becky's child with Ryan Satan. What a goofball. What a fucking goofball.
Oh, but Ryan Satan, why do you say that, man?
Because it's true.
It's true.
He's a shill.
He's an idiot.
Yep. He's literally is drinking the Kool-Aid and sugarcoating just to get a job in WWE. And he can't keep JD's name out of his mouth.
Yeah, but congratulations to Seth and Becky on their child. They're going to be amazing parents to their daughter. But the only reason that Matt Riddle was on Raw is because Seth Rollins did not want to work. Just because he could not take a joke.
Yeah. Matt Riddle was saying that, Seth Rollins, he complained he's not good at interviews. Matt Riddle was saying that Seth Rollins is not good at interviews, and said that Rollins is not the best wrestler in the world. Oh, but Matt Riddle's wrong, man. He's right.
He's right.
Oh, but how is Matt Riddle right, man? Seth Rollins is the best in the world, man.
He isn't even the best at what he's doing in fucking interviews.
Yeah, and Rollins, he couldn't take one single and simple joke from Matt Riddle.
What a goof.
And then the men's Survivor Series match at this year's Survivor Series, Rollins, the way how he got eliminated. Oh, it had nothing to do with Matt Riddle, man.
Yes, it did.
Oh, but how do you two know that, man? It had nothing to do with Matt Riddle, man.
The report said it.
Seth Rollins legit real life heat with Matt. Seth Rollins legit real life heat with Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
But anyways, Riddle pitches to Jeff Hardy to team up and become the Hardy Bros. And Hardy says he likes it, but he has to go wrestle Bobby Lashley right away in a non-title match. Riddle is sad because he didn't get a chance to offer Hardy one of his bro nuts. And then Matt Riddle's like, okay, more for me with the bro nuts. And then Matt Riddle takes a bite of one of the bro nuts. They had to be made by Titus O'Neil, by the way. One of them, I believe, was a chocolate frosted donut. Maybe one of them was Boston cream. Maybe one was jelly filled. Maybe a chocolate frosted jelly filled donut. They had to be made by Titus O'Neil, or maybe it was made by Dana Brooke. Maybe Dana was giving tips to Humberto how to make proper donuts in Titus Catering.
Yeah.
Maybe Dana was teaching Mustafa Ali how to cook donuts properly in Titus Catering.
Yeah.
Hey, Mustafa, you want to make some donuts? Come to Dana Brooke. Okay?
Yeah.
If you don't learn from Dana Brooke, you'll fuck up my donuts. I can't have that, bro.
Yeah.
And
well, are we talking about donuts or are we talking about Monday Night Raw?
At this point, I'd rather eat donuts than watch Monday Night Raw.
Same thing.
At least it's better quality than Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So then we get Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Jeff Hardy. This was one of the only few good things of Raw Monday night. One of the only few good things Raw this past Monday. Nothing positive outside of the SmackDown promo for tomorrow and this match. Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley. This was not a bad match.
It was actually pretty good.
Yep. He had Lashley taking control over Jeff. He had Lashley dominate most of the match. They had Jeff Hardy countering the C4 with a leg drop, and then Jeff Hardy does the atomic drop and double leg drop between the legs of Lashley, then the basement drop kick, and the splash thing, not the running splash, but like a standing fall splash in the ring to Lashley, gets a near fall. And then Hardy goes for a twist of fate, but Lashley almost turns it right into the full Nelson. MVP then gets up on the apron. Riddle runs down to the ring and pulls MVP down. Hardy then sends Lashley out of the ring and lands a dive on the outside. And then they go right to the break. And then after the break, Lashley continues to work over Jeff Hardy. Then Lashley goes for his hurt lock and the full Nelson. Hardy tries to escape it, but Lashley rolls him into a sleeper. Then Lashley transitions this into a side headlock. Then Hardy gets to his feet and hits a jawbreaker. Hardy's firing up. Hardy hits his combo. Hardy hits the Hardy combo. Lashley kicks out. Whisper in the wind by Jeff Hardy. Lashley kicks out again. Lashley then stuns Jeff on the top rope. Flatliner by Lashley. Hardy kicks out. Hardy then finally hits the twist of fate. Then Hardy is going up the top. He goes for a swanton. Lashley moves. Hardy hops off the top rope and then Lashley, he hits the spear on Jeff Hardy. And then he puts Hardy in the Hurt Lock, and Hardy taps out. Bobby Lashley wins this non-title match against Jeff Hardy in a decent match. And then after this match, Lashley then refuses to release the Hurt Lock. Riddle then tries to make the save, and then MVP holds Riddle's foot, but Riddle kicks him anyway. Lashley then throws Hardy into Riddle and then leaves. And hold on, come on, technology phone.
That was it.
Yep, and that was it. Your thoughts on this, real quick?
That was one of the only good things about this thing.
Yep. Now, where do you think they go from here? Do you think Matt Riddle wrestles Bobby Lashley at TLC for the U.S. title? It's possible.
That should be interesting.
I would not mind that at all. Could you see Riddle winning the U.S. title? Probably not, but it should be a good match at TLC.
Oh, that's a shame.
And if they're breaking up Retribution, maybe they form the Hardy Bros. Maybe they're forming them for a reason.
Yeah.
And really, Hurt Business and New Day, only 2 tag teams on Raw right now, because New Day and Hurt Business at TLC for the Raw Tag Team titles. I expect the Hurt Business to win, and when they do, who else is there for the New Day? Who else is there for the Hurt Business to face? And if the New Day retains, who else is there for them to face?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're forming the Hardy Bros, but I don't know. Maybe the Hurt Business win the titles at TLC, and then we get the Hurt Business and the Hardy Bros for the Raw Tag Team titles. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, so then we go backstage. Someone knocks on Orton's locker room door. It's Ramblin' Rabbit. Ramblin' Rabbit then tells Orton that Wyatt can't wait to see him in the ring. And then we got the main event. Randy Orton versus the Firefly Funhouse version of Bray Wyatt. Man, oh man. How many people reach for the remote control and change the channel to the Food Network channel? I wonder how many. Or I wonder how many people change a channel to Lifetime or watch some Christmas movie. I wonder how many. I bet you a lot. I bet you a lot of people did that than watch this fucking match here. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. What a god-awful main event, man. God-awful main event. Anything to say on this? I don't even want to go over much of this match because this match bored me to fucking tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a headlock. You had a side chin lock. You had a sleeper. Headlock, this is badass. This is awesome wrestling. Headlock, this is awesome, man. Sure. Oh, chin lock. Oh, sleeper hold. This is so badass, man. This is badass. Oh, this is cool. This is great wrestling, man. Sure it is. Sure it is. Any ranting to say about this fucking match?
Do we need to go over it?
This was nothing but fucking chin locks, headlocks, like a body scissors shit. I was like DDTs, Wyatt hitting an implant DDT for a near fall. Wyatt going for Sister Abigail. Orton with backbreakers, and then Orton with a draping DDT. Then the lights go out as Orton is about to set up for his RKO. Orton then tries to pin Wyatt, and the lights come back on. Orton is then laying on the Fiend, and then as soon as Orton realizes it, the Fiend puts Orton in the mandible claw. Orton passes out as the Fiend grunts and screams into the camera. And then that is how Monday Night Raw went off the air. One of your TLC matches given away for free on Raw a few weeks before the TLC pay-per-view. Oh, but what's the difference? It's not the Fiend, man. It's the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, man. It's 2 completely different people, man.
It's the same guy.
It's the same fucking person, you fucking idiot.
It's the same fucking guy.
And my God, was this match fucking boring. And they did this match this past Monday on Raw.
So now we know the match at TLC will now be fucking boring. Now we know what match to skip at TLC. Great. Great. I can't wait for The Fiend versus Randy Orton at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Man, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, The Fiend versus Randy Orton. Man, that match is going to be a match of the year candidate.
For no one else.
Yep. WrestleMania 33, Wyatt versus Orton. That match was terrible. The House of Horrors at Payback 2017, even worse. This past Monday on Raw, even more worse. TLC, atrocious. Atrocious. If Wyatt and Orton this past Monday on Raw was so fucking boring. They had a boring match this past Monday on Raw. What makes you think they're going to have a better match at TLC? Makes you think they're having. In fact, Orton and The Fiend at TLC, that might be one of the worst matches on the show at this point. And I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I still have zero interest in The Fiend versus Randy Orton. Still zero interest. And what happens if they do a no contest at TLC between these two guys? And what if these two wrestle each other again at the Royal Rumble? Man, that's going to be monumental.
For no one else.
Or what if they do a no contest for that match at TLC, Orton and The Fiend? Or what if they do a DQ finish? It's not a TLC match, but...
Don't give them ideas.
I don't want to see that. You want to make me care even less about Orton and The Fiend? That's what you do. Orton and The Fiend. You want me to care even less about that? By all means, that's what you fucking do.
Oh, you want to kill the TLC match? By all means. Okay, DQ finish it.
You want to make the TLC pay-per-view even worse? That's what you fucking do. This show offered nothing outside of the SmackDown promo for tomorrow and Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. The rest, complete, utter trash. I want to see one fool. I want to see one idiot. I want to see one shill defend this.
Seriously, how can anyone sit there and give this show one? How can anyone sit there and say, oh, this show isn't as bad as you make it out to be? Blow me.
Oh, you two are overreacting, man. It's not as bad as you two make it out to be, man. We had good in-ring action, man.
Yes, it is that bad. This show is that bad.
Open your eyes, people. Open your eyes. If you don't see how bad this show is, you are a fool. And like I said, Raw this past Monday, their last show at the Thunderdome in the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. You know, tomorrow night on SmackDown, they're going to be in Tampa, Florida at the Tropicana Field, right? And this past Monday on Raw, they were in their final night in the Thunderdome for Amway Center, Orlando this past Monday on Raw, correct? You'd figure they have a fire lit right under their ass and at least try and put on a decent fucking show from this Raw this past Monday night. What did you think they did? Lazy, and lazy. More rinse and repeat. Garbage, more stuff that doesn't make sense. Matches given away on Raw weeks before the pay-per-view. More logical garbage. Blah, blah, blah. Don't even try and defend this show. If you do, you don't deserve to talk about pro wrestling on this platform, and you don't deserve to call yourself a fan of professional wrestling. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Seriously. There's nothing good about Monday Night Raw. Raw will continue to be the worst show on television until changes are properly made and until Vince McMahon is retired. That's your Monday Night Raw review. We are so getting the hell out of here. That's your Monday Night Raw review, folks. I'm Nick Fiore. This is Adam. This is the Fiore's Nation YouTube channel right here on YouTube.com. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thank you guys so much for joining for this video. We ranted. We buried the show, rightfully so. And there. Don't like what we're saying? Don't watch us. Don't like what we're saying? Don't like hearing the truth? Don't watch us and go watch someone else who's going to sugarcoat this show to the fucking high heavens. Done. Done. And once again, hope you guys enjoyed this video with Adam and I ranting all over this shit show. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully, and thank you guys so much for joining us for this video. And I'm Nick Fiore. This is Adam. This is Fiore's Nation YouTube channel right here on YouTube.com. And I will see you next time right here on the channel for more good content right here on this very YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at FioreNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiore2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiore.331. Follow Adam on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Links in the description after this video is done processing and publishing. And please hit that like button, guys. I'm urging you to hit that like button. I'm urging you to hit the subscribe button. And I'm urging you to hit that bell for all notifications. So then that way you guys know whenever I upload right here on the channel. So hit the bell for all notifications. Hit that like button. And hit that subscribe button as well. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining for the Raw review video from Raw, December 7th, 2020, from Raw this past Monday night. This is the Raw review from Raw this past Monday night, December 7th of 2020. This is Raw review from Raw this past Monday night, December 7th, 2020. I'm Nick Fiore. This is Adam, Fiore's Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Raw review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and had a good time right here. And I'll see you next time right here on the channel for more good content right here on this very channel. Talk to you guys later.